Welcome back to West Texas View.
We're talking about student housing at UTPB, and we have the director of student housing with us, Charmae Peel, and one of the students who not only is a senior and has lived there in the housing for the last 2 years, but is an RA, which means she's a resident assistant. And I want you to talk a little bit about the dormitories themselves. Tell me a little bit about them. Are they furnished?
Okay. We have all apartment style housing, which means they're built like an apartment. So you have a full living area and a kitchen in most of the units. There are some units that don't have a kitchen. There's several different layouts, from an efficiency apartment where it's one person to a 2-bedroom to a 4-bedroom apartment, and we even have 2-bedroom double occupancy rooms. So there's a variety of layouts. They are furnished. One good thing about the housing included in the cost is we do have it's all bills included. So you pay your housing cost, and that's your electricity, that's your cable, extended basic cable, that's your internet, wired and wireless. We do have Wi-Fi. That includes laundry services, so you pay that one.
Does it include food?
Well, no, we do have a food service in the meal plans.
Board, but so this is board.
Yeah. So, but I mean, when you're looking at comparing to living off campus, it's a great value because you pay that one price, and that's everything included. So you don't have to worry about all those different bills.
Can you go online and see the different layouts?
Yes, you can. If you go to utpb.edu and look under student housing webpage, there's the layouts there, the current prices for housing. And then you can always call the office or email us in student housing.
Yeah, because I know a lot of parents and grandparents want to come and look at the housing.
Right. We do have tours available. You can set that up through the admissions office, or there's a visitation form on the student housing webpage where you can request a time to come and do a tour, and we can show you what the housing looks like.
Well, tell us a little bit about some of the other things around the housing that is available, like is there tennis courts, is there basketball courts, is what?
Right. We do have, just within the last 2 years, we've added an outdoor lighted basketball court that's available to the students. We have a sand volleyball court. We do have 2 student clubhouses that have study areas and TVs and a full kitchen to use if you want to get together and make a snack and hang out with your friends. And we also have laundry areas in some of the buildings, and one that's separate that's near study areas, so you can start your laundry and go study and get everything done all in one place.
Is all the housing in one area of the campus, or is it scattered around?
It's kind of spread out, but it's all in the same area. South Campus.
Okay, South Campus.
Is in student housing is all around that area.
So even the 2 new dorms that are coming up.
The 2 new phases of housing are right there.
And of course, you can't have anything without Wi-Fi. So
you can't have anything.
You're fully wired, is what you're telling me. And you know, one of the things that, because I'm a retired college administrator, I remember all the questions that the parents asked me, and the parents were always so concerned about security.
That's one thing that I take a lot of pride in, and we really are happy to say that we do have a very safe campus. We do have a police department on campus, fully operational, and they tour the housing 24 hours a day. So even when the office isn't open, and Cara here's one of our RAs, but that's one of the reasons that we have the RA program, because when the office is closed after 5 p.m., there's someone that you can call 24 hours a day. That's not just for the students, that's for the parents. So you have a concern, and they are trained with the resources to get a hold of someone or to contact PD. So you always do have someone there looking out for the surroundings, looking out for the students, making sure they have what they need and that they feel safe.
Well, tell us the process. Walk us through the process. If I wanted to be involved in the housing on UTPB, I've got to be admitted to the campus and accepted for admittance and enrolled in order to be.
You have to be an admitted student, but once you've been admitted to the university, you can apply for student housing. There's an application to complete where you can indicate what your ideal choice of housing would be, and then there's a $200 deposit that's required, and that just holds your space. And so as long as there's availability, which there is now, we encourage you to apply and come.
And so, but what if I were only a part-time student?
There's still housing available.
Okay, good. Because that's a big thing in a lot of
Right.
the campuses is you've got to be taking a full load in order to do it.
But that's not it's not a requirement.
Well, how many housing units do you have for single?
For single students?
Married students.
For married students, we have about 30 units total.
Oh gosh, that's a lot. Great. Well, I want to come back to you, Cara. Tell me what you liked about living in the dormitory. I have an only child, and she said she wanted that experience of living in a group home. But when she got out, she said, you know, it's really a lot different than being an only child with a nice, clean bedroom and nobody coming in and out.
Well, I think since it is apartment style, that does make it more like home. It's, I think, less of a shock than normal dormitories. But it's definitely, since it's apartment style, I feel like I'm at home and I can make it my home. And especially when I live with people that I'm friends with or I'm close with, it's a lot easier to, and a lot more enjoyable.
How did you choose your roommate? Was it somebody you knew, or did you just look down the list of people that?
Well, my first semester here, I didn't choose my roommate. I had never met her before, but we lived together. We got along. It worked out great, actually. And then I lived with my best friend the next year. So. But
what if it hadn't worked out? Can they change?
We do have. We use a matching form first coming in. If someone doesn't know each other, if people don't know each other, they can say, I like these things, I don't like these things.
.com.
Yeah, something like that. You could say that. And then if, as space permits, if someone says they're not getting along well with their roommate, then we can make adjustments and changes.
But different philosophies or something.
Well, ultimately, our mission in housing is provide an environment that's safe and conducive to learning. And so if someone's not comfortable where they live, it makes a difference. So we try to accommodate those changes if we can to make sure everyone's comfortable and they're living somewhere where they can be successful in their classes.
One of the things that I know a lot of the students that have lived in dormitories said that made it easier for them to go to school because they were right there on campus, and they felt like they knew and was involved in what was going on more than people that live off campus because they're not there all the time and they don't really know.
There definitely is a community when you live on campus and live in housing. You get involved. I kind of like to see it as you're plugging in to the campus, the total experience, not just, I mean, you can still plug in, but it's so much easier when you're right there on campus.
Well, we've got about 1 minute to go. Is there anything else that you'd like to say about living in the dormitory?
It's really just a nice place to live. There's, like she said, a great sense of community. You meet a lot of friends, a lot of new people, and there's just a lot of experiences that you can be a part of there.
Be sure and go on the website and find their the student housing link, and you'll find what you need to know about student housing. We'll be back in just a little while with another program. Okay, great. Thank you so much.
Stay tuned. West Texas View will be right back.